What's up, maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac if you will, and today we are discussing Monday Night Raw. It is the night after Extreme Rules 2020 and a couple of things happened. They're beginning to maybe put some things in motion towards SummerSlam, so I'm gonna go over everything that took place on tonight's show and give my opinions on it. Right here at WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you have hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I drop a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into the review. So I'm gonna jump to one of the bigger topics coming out of tonight's show. We did have the golden role models that are carrying all the belts come down to the ring, and it looks so good. Sasha looks so good with the Raw Women's Championship alongside her tag team championships, and Bayley the same with her SmackDown Championship along with her tag team championship. And of course they came to the ring, giving all the chat, giving all the talk, saying how great they are and that they hold all the belts. They were soon interrupted by Asuka, of course, saying that Sasha wasn't ready for Asuka. However, Asuka wasn't ready for a thief. Which, let's be honest, Sasha Banks is a thief at this point. She didn't really win the championship, but she is walking around with it, so I guess that's pretty fair. Asuka was also accompanied by Kairi Sane, and just as it looked like something was going to kick off between the four women, we had Stephanie McMahon, of all people, appear on the Titron, and I guess at this point Stephanie was acting like a bit of a GM, and she basically said that on next week's Raw we are going to have a rematch for the Raw Women's Championship, Sasha Banks versus Asuka. The winner of the match will become the Raw Women's Champion. So I guess that pretty much sorts that. But on the night, we got Bayley versus Kairi Sane. And again, this was a really good match. I think at this point, Kairi Sane has put on about 3 good matches in a row on Raw in recent weeks. And she picked up the win here, albeit by a roll-up, but it's a win. However, it seems like the emotional celebration after the match may be confirming the rumours that we have been hearing that this was Kairi Sane's last match and that she is now done with WWE. What do you guys think about this? Do you think this is the last time we're gonna see Kairi Sane in the WWE ring? Please put your comments down below. But yeah, kind of a shock win here. I can't remember the last time I've seen Bayley lose a match on this terrific run she's been on. But yeah, next week, Raw Women's Championship match, and I'm looking forward to that. To open the show, we had Seth Rollins take on Aleister Black. Aleister Black still out here fighting the cause for Rey Mysterio. However, with Murphy on the outside, it was like Aleister Black was taking on 2 people at times, and Aleister Black was unfortunate, couldn't pick up the win here. Seth Rollins worked Aleister Black's right arm throughout the match, and even after he got the win, continued to work the right arm in and around the ring. In a backstage segment, we saw Shelton Benjamin become the 24/7 champion. He pinned R-Truth and aligned himself immediately with the Hurt Business, MVP and Bobby Lashley. They then went out to the ring, calling out Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, who were all supposed to have a 6-man tag match. However, with Apollo Crews still not around, Ricochet and Cedric Alexander brought back Mustafa Ali. This is the first time we've seen Mustafa Ali in a very, very long time, and he pretty much was the MVP of this match. Once he got tagged in, we got to see all of the talent that we've become super familiar with when it comes to Mustafa Ali, and in the end he pinned MVP with the 450 off the top rope. I really do like how this Hurt Business collective is forming though. I love a faction, and to be honest, I would have loved if Ricochet and Cedric Alexander would have joined them as a tag team, but yeah, I can't wait to see more from them. In a very quick match, we had Ruby Riott actually pick up a win over Peyton Royce. This is Ruby Riott's first win maybe of this year. For such a long time she hasn't won a match, and even before the match we had Peyton Royce making fun of her win-loss record, and if you saw Ruby's expression on her face when she actually got the win, it meant so much. So hopefully this is the beginning of them beginning to build up Ruby Riott again, and of course I guess they're waiting for Liv Morgan to get back on TV so they can let that storyline between those two play out. Guys, if you are enjoying this review, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, give me a like. It lets more people see this video and I thoroughly appreciate it. Next in the show, we had the Street Profits taking on Garza and Andrade, and this was a really entertaining match. Before the match, the Profits laid a beating on Andrade and Garza backstage, and they were really intense, which is nice to see. You know, they're usually quite jokey and not taking things seriously, and then when they actually got into the match, it was a really good match. All four men super talented. Again, Montez Ford, just the MVP of Street Profits and everything that they do. He was absolutely fantastic when he got tagged in, and that frog splash he done tonight, I mean, we usually see the height he gets on these frog splashes, but the height plus him turning in the air to actually land it on Garza was something great. The commentary team harped on about it as well. So it wasn't actually a tag team title match, but the Street Profits came out on top, and the question is, where do Garza and Andrade go from here? WWE champion Drew McIntyre came down to the ring and looked as if he was about to outline his plans for the upcoming pay-per-view SummerSlam before Dolph Ziggler came down. And as soon as Dolph Ziggler came down, even I was like, go away, it's done, one and done, go. I don't want to see Dolph Ziggler and McIntyre go again. I did think the Extreme Rules match was pretty good, but I was happy with it. That's it. I don't want to see any more of these two. But Dolph Ziggler came down begging for a rematch, begging for another opportunity. And eventually, after damaging Drew McIntyre's ego a bit, Drew McIntyre caved in and offered him a rematch. However, this time Drew will be picking the stipulation, so whatever he wants, and this match is going to take place next week on Raw. In the main event, we had Randy Orton taking on Big Show in an unsanctioned match, and this match was pretty much middle of the road for me. I mean, unsanctioned matches always sound fun and always going to be dangerous and chaotic, but Randy Orton is an extremely safe wrestler. People rarely get injured, if ever get injured, wrestling Randy Orton. And of course, wrestling someone like Big Show, who is a legend and probably on his way out, no serious damage or risks was ever going to be taken in this match. So yes, it was an unsanctioned match. Big Show put himself through a table trying to splash Randy Orton, who was on the table at the time. There was a few chair shots here and there, but nothing crazy. At the end of the day, Randy Orton laid him out with 2 RKOs, and then after the match, after Randy Orton had been declared the winner of the match, gave Big Show a punt, and that was it. The show was over. It has been rumoured that for SummerSlam we are looking at a WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. So now that Randy Orton is kind of done with Big Show, and Drew McIntyre, I'm sure, is going to wash his hands of Dolph Ziggler next week. It's going to be interesting to see how their paths collide into what is the rumoured WWE Championship match at SummerSlam. So guys, that is my Monday Night Raw review. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said at the beginning, it looks like things are beginning to build towards SummerSlam, albeit quite slowly, but SummerSlam is still, 4 weeks or so away. So I guess we do have quite a bit of time to fill between now and then. If you enjoyed this review, again, please leave me a thumbs up. I thoroughly appreciate it. And if you are new here, welcome. Make sure you've hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.